All right, so let's begin. Good morning again. Thanks for being here. We're going to do a practice that starts reclined to do some spinal waves from a bridge pose and also open up the hips and hamstrings. So it'd be good to have a strap available and close by. If you want to support the back of your head and neck, you could use a gently folded blanket. I'm going to use that myself this morning. So go ahead and come down onto your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, so not fully reclined. Take a moment to get settled so that your pelvis seems well aligned below your spine. Your shoulders are resting evenly on the mat. And your feet can be a little bit wider apart than hip width to start. And just let the knees come in and rest together. You can place your left palm over your heart and your right palm down on your lower abdomen, framing the breath. And gently close your eyes once you've arrived. Just take a few moments to let yourself drop into the body. Feeling a heaviness come into the shoulders and the elbows. Feeling the weight of your palms against your body. Feel the contact of the back of your pelvis and the mat, and the weight of your feet against the floor. Take a moment to check in with yourself mentally, acknowledging how you're feeling this morning and where your thoughts are. Consider what you need from this practice today. And shift your attention to your breath. Feeling the rise and fall of the breath into your palms. Feeling the gentle expansion of the rib cage on the backside as it presses into the mat. Begin to consciously slow down and deepen your breath. Settling into the rhythm that's going to guide you through your movement practice this morning. Take 3 more breaths here. And then you can release the hands from your body, float your eyes eyes open. Good, and separate your knees. Let's adjust the feet so they're hip width apart. Maintain that deep, slow breathing here as we start to warm up the spine. Let's bring the arms into a cactus position. So a 90-degree bend at the elbows. The elbows are about as high as your shoulders. Back if the palms are on the floor, so your palms face up toward the ceiling. If this isn't comfortable for your shoulders for any reason, you can just take your arms straight out in a T shape. So here I want to work on reclined spinal waves. So bring your attention to your lower back right now. In this neutral position, you might have a little bit of a lumbar arch, or maybe your back is flat against the floor. But for now, I want you to exaggerate the lumbar arch by pressing your sacrum and tailbone into the floor. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze together and try and lift your ribcage and chest without lifting your hips. Those are going to stay on the mat. So arching the back as much as you can. And just hold here for a few breaths. It's probably not going to feel as dramatic of an arch as you could create when we do this from table pose, but you're really working the muscles in your lumbar and thoracic region to help draw the spine into the body and open up your front side. Good, now let's go for rounding the back, or here it's going to feel more like flattening. Squeeze your glutes and tuck your tailbone toward your heels, pressing your lumbar flat into the ground, and then maybe even lifting your glutes up a little bit so that you get the sensation like you're rounding. So because we're on the ground, it's not going to involve the upper back like it would in table. Just hold here for a moment. My hips are just hovering off the mat a tiny bit, and I'm flattening the lumbar. You should feel like this activates your abdominals. My rib cage is knitting together, kind of toward the midline. My belly button is hugging in. Good, and then release the hips back to the mat. Let's move through that with breath. So press the tailbone and sacrum to the floor. Try and arch your back as much as you can, opening the rib cage. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone, engage the glutes. Maybe they hover a little bit to flatten the low back. So continue to do this back and forth. Spinal waves, really focusing on the lumbar region. Take one more in each direction. Good, and then let your hips find neutral. Bring your knees into your chest, hugging the arms around the legs, and just rock a little bit back and forth, massaging your back. Good, all right, you can put the feet down again in that bridge position. Now we're going to use bridge as a way to move through the spine. You're going to take your arms directly over your head now, arms straight behind you, extending all the way through to the fingertips. You're going to be pressing through your heels and inhaling to lift all the way up into a bridge pose. And then exhale, roll your spine down, bring your arms forward, and then lift your head and shoulders, engaging your abdominals, reaching your fingers beyond your shins if possible. Good, hold here for a moment, engaging the core. Ribcage is drawing in and down. Good, and then let's move through this with the breath. Roll your spine and head down. Inhale the arms up and over and lift your hips up into bridge. Exhale, roll down, arms forward, lift your head and shoulders, reaching the hands beyond the feet. Good, inhale, roll down, arms up, lift into bridge. Exhale, roll down, arms forward, lifting the head and shoulders. Good, do this at the speed of your own breath. Inhaling to settle down and then lift up into bridge. Exhaling to return to the floor and lift up. 3 more at your own pace. Good, after that last one, return your back to the floor. Good, I need to move this blanket out of my way. Good, once your hips are down here, I'm gonna have you separate your feet about as wide as your mat. Open your arms out to the side, palms facing up, and gently drop your knees back and forth like windshield wipers. The next time your knees drop to the right side, let them stay down to the right. Actively press your inner left knee lower to the floor, rotating the thigh bone in the hip socket here, elongating the psoas and the quads. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release, picking the knees up, and then drop them to the left side of your mat. Actively press your inner right knee lower to the floor, feeling that inward rotation of the thigh bone. One more breath in. And exhale, bring the knees back up. Good, you can inch your feet closer together, hip width apart again. Let's find our straps, and we're gonna do some hamstring release before we come off of the back. You can bring your right knee into your chest, lift up so you can place the strap around the ball of the right foot, lie back down, and straighten that leg up toward the ceiling, holding your strap with straight arms and some tension around your grip so that you can push your foot against the strap as it's nice and tight. And then slide your left leg forward and down if you haven't already done that, anchoring the left leg to the floor. And bring your awareness to your lower back here. I want you to feel a little bit of your natural lumbar curvature. So if your back is completely flat against the ground, maybe move your right thigh a little bit away from you. Use a longer piece of strap so that you can feel a little bit of anterior or forward pelvic tilt. Sacrum is pressing into the floor. Good, lots of energy through both legs. You should feel your quadriceps group squeezing to help hug the kneecap up and in. We're pressing through the heels to lengthen the calf muscles and the Achilles. Try and spread your toes widely apart, engaging the arches of the feet. Good, from here we're going to take a lift, just like those spinal waves we did from bridge pose. I want you to tuck your tailbone now down toward your left heel, flatten your low back against the ground, and then use your abdominals to roll your head and shoulders up off the floor, trying to bring the nose closer to the knee. Good, one more breath in. Exhale and roll back down, finding that slight arch to the lower back. And now take your strap in the right hand only. Left arm can relax to the floor. Let's open the right leg out to the side. Take your time. Good, finding your whole range of motion here. The left leg is still anchored to the floor. And the obliques now are firing up to support the upper body so that you don't tip over. Good. The next time you exhale, bring that leg back up to the center point, change hands, and cross the leg over to the left side of your mat, any amount until you feel a good stretch down the outer line of the leg from the hip. You might even feel it all the way down to your outer ankle. One more deep breath in. Exhale and bring the leg back up to center. Bend the knee toward you and remove the strap from your foot. Good. And then release that leg down to the ground. Maybe shake the legs out a little bit. Just notice the difference between right and left. I just need to move my mat away from my wall here a little bit more so I've got space for this left side. All right, let's take the left knee to the chest and lift up so that you can take the strap around the foot. Setting up for this side, lie back down and extend your leg. Ooh, I'm tight on this side this morning. So if you're feeling imbalanced like I am, you may need to go a little longer on this side, or maybe this one's the looser, you can go shorter. But once you've got the legs straight and a nice tight grip, again, assess your lower back. I want you to try and have a little bit of your normal lumbar arch, so not flattening against the ground right now. So press the sacrum into the floor and feel the relationship between your hamstrings and your lower back. A nice deep, steady breath. Engage the front side of both of your thighs so your quads are active. Good, and then for the lift, you're going to tuck your tailbone down toward your right heel, flatten your low back into the ground, and then you engage your abdominals and roll your head and shoulders up, trying to bring your nose closer to the left knee. Holding here, keeping your right heel anchored to the floor. Good, exhale, roll back down, finding the anterior pelvic tilt again, so your low back moves up away from the ground a little bit, and then strap goes in the left hand only, right arm releases to the side as we open the left leg. Find your range of motion, engage your obliques to stabilize the upper body, and keep the right leg glued to the mat. One more deep breath in. Exhale, bring the leg back up to the center. Change hands and cross your leg over toward the right side, any amount. Good, inhale, bring the leg back up to the center. Exhale, bend the knee toward you, get rid of the strap. You can put that aside for now. Release that leg to the floor, shake it out a little bit. Good, all right, let's bring both knees to the chest. We're gonna rock on the spine in order to come upright, so go ahead and just gradually build momentum, keeping your chin tucked toward your chest as you do this motion. And on one of your rocks, give enough momentum to rock all the way up. Cross your ankles and come forward, put the hands down, and find table pose toward the front of your mat. Good, align the shoulders over the palms and the hips over the knees. We're gonna do a little hip work here. I'm gonna have you extend your right leg behind you, nice and long. Press evenly through both hands and engage your core, stabilize the posture. Good, from this position on the exhalation breath, you're gonna bend your right knee and try and bring it up to the outside of your right shoulder. So you're gonna have to open the hip in order to do this. Engage your core to hug that thigh in. Good, inhale, extend the leg back behind you. And again, exhale, try and bring your right knee up to the outside of your right shoulder. Two more, inhale, extend it back. Exhale, right knee to right shoulder. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, right knee to right shoulder. Let's hover it here and then step your right foot outside of your right hand. So your foot's gonna be slightly off of your mat. Come up on your fingertips to this really wide angled low lunge. And let's walk the left knee a little farther down toward the back of the mat. Good, take a few moments just to let your hips draw down. You're on fingertips or maybe you're using blocks. Let's lift the chest a little bit like you're trying to practice cobra pose here, opening the front line of the body. Good, if you want, you could rotate your right toes out to the side a little bit and let the right knee and thigh fall away from the shoulder a bit more. Or you could add side-to-side motion in the pelvis. Good, from here, let's take a twist, keep your left hand down, rotate from your waist and raise your right arm up, really pushing the ground with your left palm, activating that shoulder and feeling the tip of the shoulder blade slide down your back toward your hips. Then one more breath in. Exhale the right hand back to the floor, inside of the foot. Plant your palms shoulder width apart so that they're in line for plank pose. Let's tuck the back toes under and lift the back knee nice and high so you're in this high lunge version. And then push through your palms, engage your core, step your right foot back to meet the left, finding plank. Okay, let's hold here in plank. Feel your heart space move forward a little bit so there's less rounding in the upper back. Then squeeze your legs together, slightly tuck your tailbone toward your heels so that you fire up your lower abdominals. Good, one more breath in. Exhale, bend the elbows, slowly lower your body all the way to the floor. Once you're there, point your toes, squeeze your shoulders and elbows together, and inhale to a low or a high cobra. Exhale, roll down and let it go. Twice more. Inhaling to cobra pose. Exhaling to release. Last one, inhale. And exhale, let it go. Good, tuck your toes, press back up to your table pose, adjust your knees so they're hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. We'll take that sequence for the other side. So we're straightening the left leg behind, finding balance here in this three-limbed table, pressing evenly through the palms. With the exhalation phase of your breath, bend your left knee and try and bring it up to kiss that outside of your left shoulder or armpit. Inhale, extend it back. Exhale, left knee to outer left shoulder. Inhale, extend it back. Two more. Exhale, knee to shoulder, working the hip and the obliques. Inhale, extend it back. Last one, exhale, knee comes up really high to the outer shoulder. Hover here for a moment. Feel that hip flexion and feel your core working. And then try and slowly bring your left foot forward in space. Step it right outside of the left hand. Wide angled lunge. Good, come up on your fingertips, give your wrists a break, or use your blocks. Let's walk the right knee farther back so we get a low pelvis here. Good, start to elevate your chest more so that you're expanding the front of your body. And just be here, whether it's stillness, whether it's rocking the pelvis. I'm gonna angle my toes out to the left a little bit and let the knee and thigh also fall out to the left. So a really wide version of this lunge. Let's take the twist from here. The right hand's going to stay down, planted under the shoulder. Push the floor with that hand and then rotate from your waist, sending the left arm up. Feel your right shoulder blade slide down your back toward your hip. Good, one more breath in. Exhale, take the left hand back to the mat, line your palms shoulder width apart. Let's lift the back knee so you're in the high lunge version of this pose and start to really push the floor, activate your core, and then step your left foot back to find plank. Good, feet together. Now feel your heart space move forward a little so there's less rounding in the back. One long line as you hold here in plank. Let's take 3 more breaths. With your last breath out, slowly lower your body all the way to the floor. Point the toes, squeeze the shoulders and elbows back. Inhale, rising up to cobra just once this time. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press back up to your hands and knees. Exhale, the hips back to the heels. Strong, straight arms, lift up to downward facing dog. Adjust your feet if you need to, hips with distance. Spread your fingers widely as you really claw the mat and press the hips up and back. Good. Let your head and neck be heavy. Good. From this position, let's raise the right leg up into the air for three-limbed dog. So we're going to do what we just did in table pose, except we're going to do it in plank. So on your exhalation, you're going to shift forward like plank and try and bring the right knee up to the outside of your right armpit or shoulder. Good. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. Twice more. Exhale, come forward to plank. Right knee comes outside the shoulder. Once more. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, come forward to plank. Right knee hovers outside of the shoulder. And again, step the foot outside of the hand. Back to this wide-legged lunge. We're going to stay in the high lunge this time. So come up on the fingertips. Keep your back knee up off of the ground. Straight back leg. Right foot, for me, it's just slightly off the mat. If that feels too wide, you can bring it back onto your mat. When I'm up on the fingertips, feel the heart space move forward. So you're lengthening your back and keep lifting that back knee. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale, plant the palms, return to plank pose. Step that foot back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, press up to table. Exhale, hips to heels, press through your palms, and then lift up to downward facing dog. Good. Take a moment, just assess how the body feels. Doing a lot of hip and core activation here. Warm up through the body. When you're ready, we're doing that for the other side. Start by raising your left leg up into the air for three-limbed dog. On the exhalation phase of your breath, you're going to shift forward to plank, bend the left knee, and try and bring it up to the outside of your left armpit or outer shoulder. Good. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale again, plank, knee to shoulder. Once more, inhale, lift it back and up. Exhale, come forward to plank, left knee kisses the shoulder, hover here, and then step that foot right outside the hand. Good. Help it up if it doesn't quite make it there, or adjust the position. Should be in a wide stance, high lunge. I'm going to come on my fingertips, giving the wrists a break. Back leg is really strong and straight. Feel your heart space move forward, so there's less rounding in your upper back. Holding here, nice long line from the crown of your head down to your back heel. Good. From here, plant your palms shoulder width apart. Push the floor and exhale, step to plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press up to table. Exhale, hips to heels, and then up for downward facing dog. Good. Let your head be heavy. Take a few deep breaths here. And then on your next breath in, look forward. As you breathe out, step up to your hands. Take your hands against your shins. Inhale to your flat back position. Exhale, fold over your legs. Stay here, letting the head drop. You can take your hands to the back of the calves, ankles, or heels, and just hug your upper body to your lower body. Good, last breath in. Exhale, let go of the legs, letting the arms release. And then we're gonna rise up on an inhalation. Open the arms, coming through flat back, and then up to stand as you reach over your head. And exhale, release your arms by your sides, standing here in mountain pose. Good. I'm just gonna turn my fan on. I'll be right back. Hopefully it's not gonna create too much noise above the computer. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. Well, I don't know where my remote is, but it should be okay. It's not exactly underneath it. All right, so let's move through a few rounds of Sun Series. We'll start with 2 traditional rounds, and then we're gonna modify things a bit. Beginning in mountain, on an inhalation, reach your arms up and over the head. Exhale, dive forward to your fold. Inhale to a flat back position. Exhale, bend your knees, stepping back to plank. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower. You can hover or come all the way to the floor. Then inhale, take cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, make your way to downward facing dog. Take your time. And settle into your breath. On an inhalation, look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, release your arms, mountain pose. Second round. Inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, step to plank. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Stay here and breathe. One more breath in, looking forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reaching overhead. Exhale, release your arms. We're going to add some side bending to the start of the Sun Series here. So standing tall, right arm stays by your side. Tuck your tailbone down toward your heels so your lower back is longer. Then inhale, raise your left arm up. Exhale, lean over to the right. Send your hips over to the left. Crescent moon pose. Keep the legs active and squeezing the thighs and rooting down through the feet. The next time you breathe in, straighten the body and reach up through both of your arms. Exhale the left arm to your side, tuck the tailbone, and lean your upper body to the left. Send your hips over to the right. The next time you inhale, straighten the body, reaching up through both of your arms, and then bend your knees as you exhale, sit back into chair pose. Feel the weight in your heels, tailbones drawing down and back, but your chest is still elevating, engaging your middle and upper back. Good, one more breath in. Exhale like you're diving forward. Come to your fold, dropping the head. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, bend your knees, touch the ground with your hands, and lunge your left foot to the back of your mat. High lunge. Deep bend in your right knee. Good, keep that back leg strong and straight. Inhale, rise up, finding balance in high crescent lunge. Pelvis is square to the front of the mat. That back knee is lifting. You're finding depth in the front knee. Good, from here, take your elbows into a cactus position, 90-degree bend. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. We're gonna do a little twisting action with the breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and twist to the right, rotating from your belly button. Good, inhale, return, facing forward. Exhale, twist to the right again. Keep that back leg nice and high. Two more, inhale, upper body goes forward. Exhale, upper body twists to the right. Last one, inhale, straighten. Exhale, twist to the right. From here, take your left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Palms together in prayer position. Good, Gail, just twist to the other side. Yep, there you go. Good, press your top hand against your bottom hand to help keep some space between your rib cage and the top of the thigh. Good, one more breath in. Look down, exhale, release the hands to the floor. We're gonna step back to downward facing dog. Take a moment, maybe pedal the legs, rocking the hips. Good, and that was a lot of work for the right hip, so let's raise the right leg up into the air. Open the hip and bend the knee for a passive quad stretch. Good, exhale, release that foot to the floor. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to your hands. Inhale, flat back position. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, release. Good, we're gonna take that through the other side of the body, so cycling through that entire sequence one more time. So starting nice and tall in mountain pose, tuck your tailbone down toward your heels. Let's keep the left arm by your side. Inhale, raise the right arm up first this time. Exhale, lean your upper body over to the left, hips shift over to the right. Really contract your obliques on the left side to lengthen them on the right side. On an inhalation breath, reach up through both arms, straightening the spine. Exhale, right arm by your side, tailbone tucks as you lean the upper body right, and send the hips to the left. Legs are active, so reaffirm your thighs if they started to relax. On an inhalation breath, straighten the body and reach up through both of your arms. Exhale, bend your knees, sit your hips way back, finding chair pose. Keep lifting your heart space as you reach long through the arms. One more deep breath in. Exhale, dive forward over your legs, dropping the head. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees so you can touch your hands to the floor. Lunge your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. High lunge. Feel your pelvis get a little lower. Deep bend in that front knee. Keep the back leg nice and straight. And then inhale, rise up, finding your balance in high crescent lunge. Good, pelvis faces forward. Lengthen through your spine. Good, let's take that core activation here. Bend your elbows out to the side, 90-degree bend like a cactus position. Take a deep breath in, lengthening up the spine. Then exhale, twist your upper body to the left. Rotate from your belly button. Inhale, face forward. Exhale, twist to the left. 2 more. Inhale, face forward. Exhale, twist left. Last one. Inhale, face forward. Exhale, twist left. From this position, take your right elbow down to the outside of the left knee, and your left hand's going to meet the right in prayer position, taking this twisting variation of a high lunge. Push your top hand down against your bottom hand to help lift your upper body away from the thigh a little bit so you have more space to rotate in the twist. Good, last breath in. Exhale, release your hands to the floor. Step back and up directly to downward facing dog. Maybe pedal the legs a little bit, rock into the hips. Good, and then from this down dog, let's raise the left leg up into the air, open the hip, and bend that knee. Passive quad stretch. Good, exhale and release. Let's bring the knees to the floor and come into child's pose. Taking a few moments here to rest. Sit back on your heels, close the eyes, and soften the shoulders and the elbows. Come back to that slow, purposeful breath. From here, I'd like to come into pigeon pose. You can do this either from down dog or from table. I'm going to do this from down dog this morning, and we're going to bring the right knee forward first. So if you're doing it from down dog, I'm going to lift the right leg up into the air, look forward and shift to plank, bringing the knee to the chest, and then setting the knee in between the hands, sliding the left leg back. Good. Come up on the fingertips. Open the right knee out to a wider angle, about 2 o'clock if you can. Settling the hips maybe even a little lower, and then folding down whenever you're ready, and knee out. Really honor what's going on in your hip. If you have any discomfort in your knee, don't go farther forward, of course. You can always take the reclined version if your knee is not happy here. Good, so close the eyes. We're going to be here a little longer than our more dynamic postures. Seeing if you can just soften and let go in places that don't need to work to keep you in this shape. And maybe eventually, the longer you're here, the more the body settles, you might realize that you need to do hardly any work at all to stay in this shape. The force of the floor pushing up against your body is holding you here. So even let your toes and your ankles soften. Let your calf muscles release. And when you're ready to come out of the forward bend, start to lift up, come back up onto your hands. Good. From here, once you're upright, I'm going to have you lean into your right hip, so really let it settle to the floor. Drag your back knee, each of your left knee, up so that it makes contact with the sole of your right foot. Good, sit up here. You should be in this shape where your legs kind of make a triangle. I'm just gonna bring my left heel a little closer to my left butt. And when I sit up on this, in this position, I'm really only on my right hip. My left hip is slightly up off the floor. We're gonna take a seated twist from here, so sit up nice and tall. We're gonna be twisting to the right, away from the feet. So start to rotate from your belly button. Your right hand's gonna come just behind you, and your left hand can cross over to the outside of the right knee or the thigh. Yep, that direction, Gail. No, other way. Yep. Good, so my right knee was the front one in pigeon, and now I'm twisting my upper body to the right, away from the direction of the feet. That's it. Good, in this twist, every time you inhale, think of sitting up taller in your spine, elevating the rib cage and the chest. And when you exhale, that's where rotation comes from. Contracting the obliques, contracting the abdominals in front of the navel to rotate. Good, one more breath in. Exhale, unwind, face forward. Just lean forward to put your hands down, lift your hips up, and just shift so you can find table for a moment. Maybe move around a little bit in table through some spinal waves. Maybe some more circular motion in the hips. Any way that you like. Good, and then return to down dog if you're gonna come into pigeon from there, or you can set it up from table. We're gonna bring the left knee forward. So from down dog, raise the left leg up into the air. Look forward and shift to plank and bring your knee up into your chest, and then set the knee down in between the hands. Right leg slides back. If you can, open the left knee out to a wider angle, about 10 o'clock. Sliding down and back a little more, and then fold forward whenever you are ready. Pigeon pose. Take your time settling in. And once you get to the depth that your body will allow this morning in the fold, then try and soften and let go of unnecessary effort. And when you're ready to come up, lift your head, walk your hands back in. All right, so transition to this seated position. You're gonna let yourself sink into your left hip right now. So all the weight goes into the left hip. And now drag your right knee up, start bending it, and bring it so it meets the sole of your left foot, and then sit upright. Now I'm gonna just bring my right heel a little closer to my butt. So that leg is kind of in hero pose. You've got this triangle shape here. Sitting up nice and tall, you're only on your left hip. You're gonna start twisting your upper body to the left. So rotate, take your left hand to the floor just behind you. The right hand is gonna cross over and press against the knee or the thigh here. Feel your spine get taller every time you inhale. You feel your abdominals contract every time you exhale to help you rotate. And then last deep breath in. Exhale, gently unwind, coming out of the twist. Good, lean your hands behind you and just unfold that right leg, extend it out in front of you, unfold the left leg, and just adjust yourself so you're sitting on your mat. We're gonna finish up with a seated forward bend, so if you have that strap nearby, you can grab it. If you want to elevate your hips, you can certainly bring your hips onto a folded blanket or some other support. So both legs extending forward, toss this strap around to connect both of your feet. Hold with a tight grip and sit up tall, bringing your body into an L shape, shoulders drawing down your back. Good, take a deep breath in. Exhale, drop your chin and start to gently guide your upper body forward and down toward the legs. Just little by little. You can adjust the hold on your strap, reaching your arms straight forward again. If they meet the feet, you can hold there instead. When you're ready to come out of the fold, inhale, slowly rise up. Good, all right, you can get rid of the strap. And we're gonna get down onto the back for Shavasana. So take your time transitioning to the floor. Once you are on your back, take a moment to let your shoulders settle. And then bring your knees to the chest, hug your arms around the legs, and rock a little bit side to side, or turn your knees around in a big circle. Just massaging your low back and the sacrum. Good, and then when you feel ready, release the legs and let them slide down in front of you. Release your arms, finding corpse pose, Shavasana. Gently close your eyes. Feel your whole body drop into the floor. Releasing any lingering active energy in your muscles or your joints. And let's release our breath, taking one last deep inhalation through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Letting it go. to your breath. And take a few deeper breaths as you move a little bit in your body. Eventually making your way into a field pose on one side, hugging into yourself and pausing here to notice how you feel right now. And whenever you're ready, gradually make your way to a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed. Finding that connection to your breath again. Inviting some alert energy back into your body as you sit tall. You can bring your palms together in front of your heart. We'll end chanting Om one time, taking a deep breath in. Om. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making the time and space to practice this morning and expressing gratitude to your body. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed this practice. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day.